Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment. And so this week, it's my sister's turn to go first. So what do you have?
I just basically wanted to talk about this TV show that I've recently started to watch. It is called Three Women.
Okay.
I think it's on Stars. Hold on, let me double check. I believe it's on Stars.
Okay.
But it is based off of a book and a true story. So that makes it a whole thing. But it was such a great selling book that's why it made it into being a TV show and not a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can watch it on Stars. Now, I'll give you the cast. You have Shailene Woodley as Gia, who is a writer. You have Betty Gilpin as Lena, who I'll get into her character.
Okay.
You got DeWanda Wise, who plays Sloane. And then you have Gabrielle Creevy, who plays Maggie. Is a couple of other people that you can know. Blair Underwood plays the husband to Sloane, so his name is Richard. Then you also have Jason Ralph, who plays Aaron or Mr. Nodal. And then you also have Blair Redford, who plays Will. So these are just some names, just so you know who the main characters are. So, Three Women is actually, like I said, a true story based like from a book. So it follows three different women in their everyday life and struggles that they face. So one woman, Sloane, is a swinger, I guess. So she's in an open relationship with her husband being Blair Underwood.
Okay.
And her husband only wants to do it because it makes her happy. But it gets messy. Because the whole thing of the open relationship is you're supposed to be honest with each other.
Yeah.
No honesty. No honesty. No honesty with your husband. No honesty with your little side piece or whatever. Wow. So, yeah, that gets very messy. So then we have another woman who plays Lena. And she is very unhappy with her husband. She basically feels like she is alone. Okay. He does not touch her. He hasn't kissed her. They haven't had intercourse in years. And she's dealing with feeling alone in her marriage and feeling like a single mother. Because when she's like, hey, I'm about to go and do this, he's like, all right, so when are you getting a sitter for, our son? And she's like, you're his father.
Right, you can watch
You can keep your kid. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. He's like, no, I don't. What do you want me to do? And she just walks out the house. But then it's different things that she's doing to try to, I guess, for her liberation, for like freeing herself, And then you have another young lady, I just closed out my notes. And then you have another young lady, and that is who Maggie is. Now, Maggie is, she falls in love with her teacher, basically. And while she's having this secret relationship with her teacher, he's saying how much he loves her and how he's going to leave his wife and, hey, come over because the boys are asleep and my wife isn't here. Like, stays in the house with her, everything. Like, she stays in the house with him and everything. And it's basically the story about how when things fell apart, everything that she went through and how she basically copes with that part of her life. Okay. All right, so then the last person, well, it should be called Four Women, but the last person is actually the writer who is, she got an advance on her second book, right? First book, bestseller. Okay. Got an advance on her second book, it's writer's block. Has no idea what she's going to write about. Yeah. And then she ends up, I think she ends up talking to someone, getting some information, and then realizing that there are people out there who have stories that she can go ahead and tell. So she gets rid of all her stuff, sells everything in the inside of her apartment, buys a van, and drives across country to then go and meet different women. And as she's writing about these women and their stories and the thing that they go through, you also get a glimpse into her life. Okay. So, and then you get to know about her relationships and her work balance, and even if she wants a relationship or anything like that. But it is very good. I like it. It's a lot of sex in it.
Oh, okay.
It's like sex sells. There's a lot of sex in it, but it is still about the women themselves. Like, when it comes to Sloane's character, she is a powerful woman.
Okay.
And she acts as such. She's not humbled at all. She's like, no, you're going to do this because I'm paying you for it. So why don't you get to work? Now, with Lena, she just likes the attention, but then she also has like a like high school sweetheart or something like that like they talk on Facebook or something, and now she's trying to figure out, oh my God, like what am I going to do? Am I going to go like be with this man, or am I going to like stay with my husband, but he doesn't look at me or touch me or anything? And then with Maggie and everything that she goes through with her teacher, and how his verbiage is very, how do I put this? His verbiage that he says to her and how he says it is so good that if they were to go to court for her being underage, then it wouldn't be as bad. I guess.
Because he's not saying anything, even if he's texting or whatever. It's
but it's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing incriminating.
Right.
Nothing.
He's so good at it, which means he's probably done it before.
Oh, absolutely, you could tell. But no, seriously, this is really good. It's a great TV show. I say definitely watch it. It is. I don't think it's that many episodes. Let me see how many episodes it is.
Okay. And
it's 10. Oh, it's 10 episodes. Oh, it is 10 episodes.
Normal.
So yeah, that's about normal.
Okay.
But it draws you in, so it's definitely something that you would want to watch. All the episodes are out, so you can watch it on demand on Stars, or no, I think it's only on demand on Stars. I don't think you can get it on like Prime or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I had. 3 Women, great TV show. I'm sure it's an even better book. Haven't read the book.
Got it.
But that's what I have so far. And what do you have, sis?
Awesome. So I'm going to talk about the Grammys, the 2025 Grammys. They were on CBS or Paramount Plus, depending on where you watched it. It was hosted by Trevor Noah.
Okay.
So, and
great pick.
Yeah, Trevor's good. Trevor's cool.
Yeah.
So, so it is basically me. I'm just going to go through who the winners were, maybe in a couple of places, talk about who, ended up getting, was also nominated. But the thing for me with the Grammys is there's not really that many Grammys they give. I mean, they give out Grammys, don't get me wrong, but it's more performing. Performing.
Because people want to perform at the Grammys because of the fact that I get my name out there. Yeah. But then also, I don't have a Grammy, but I'm still here.
Yeah, so it's like Grammy. I mean, perform, Grammy. Yeah. Perform, Grammy.
But the people want to see the performances of the people. They're it's like, oh, they got the Grammy, that's awesome. But that does nothing for me. I see that moment, but I will remember at all times this performance at the Grammys.
Right. So then I'll go through the highlights. So the best pop duo or group performance. They ended up giving that to, I'll just say who some of the people were. So The Boy Is Mine, Ariana Grande, featuring Brandy and Monica. Didn't even know that was a song. Did not have a clue that was
Brandy and Monica song?
No, with Ariana Grande. I didn't know that they had a song with Ariana. That's the new song. The Boy Is Mine. They
remade it.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like Ariana Grande remade their song. Okay.
It is The Boy Is Mine by Ariana Grande featuring Brandy and Monica. I've never even knew that was a new song. That's what I'm saying.
But anyway. Me either. I didn't know
Guess by Charlie XCX featuring Billie Eilish.
Okay.
Levi Jeans, Beyonce and Post Malone. Us, Gracie Abrams and featuring Taylor Swift. And Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. And they were the winners. Lady Gaga, Bruno
Yeah.
Mars, never heard the song. So
Yeah.
I had to play it on YouTube before recording this because I was like, what is this
I guess
song?
it's because we're not listening to the radio.
I'm
and
not
it goes
listening
like
to
a
music
big
and the radio.
thing.
Yeah, I'm not a radio person like that. So yeah, I guess I missed that. So best Latin pop album went to Shakira.
Shakira.
Yeah, so it's La
Mujeres.
y no Loran. Lloran. Loran.
Yoran. So the woman is not crying.
Oh, there you go.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. But I could be wrong.
Well, stop being
Wait.
bougie with it.
Yeah,
No,
because
let
I
me
feel like Yora is cry.
Okay. All
So,
right. So
Yoran.
Shakira won for that. Now,
The woman does not
J-Lo
cry.
was
Yeah.
the one who was presenting.
Okay.
And so she did some stuff in Spanish, and everybody's
yeah.
like, "What? Hold on." She knows how to speak because she's
Yeah.
always like, "I don't really speak Spanish
Yeah.
because I'm Puerto Rican, yes, but
yeah,
grew up
I'm
using it. My
American
English-
Puerto Rican,
right?
so
My
it's
English is better." So,
Spanglish.
and she had messed up something that she had said once before in Spanish, so
Yeah,
they were
from
like,
her show.
"This time she got it right." So okay. Anywho, so best country album, the options were Lainey Wilson for Whirlwind, Chris Stapleton Higher, Casey Musgraves Deeper Well, Post Malone. I didn't even know Post Malone had country.
Yeah,
album.
his father.
F1 Trillion.
I think his father was big in country, but then introduced him to other music,
and then he
and that's
took
how
on to other
he
ones.
took
Got
into
it.
that.
And then Beyonce won for Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
For best country album. So you proceed to see Taylor Swift in the crowd saying, "It's about damn time." Like she got her, stuff. And actually, I can't even remember if that was for best country album or album of the year. But anyway, I digress. Best pop vocal album, Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter won. I have no idea what that is either, but she was up against Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, Chapel Roan. I don't know
Roan
who
is
she
a- is a
and
new
Taylor
big,
Swift. Yeah, she's a new chick.
but she's huge.
She's huge.
Yeah, I mean, like she's out there everywhere.
Everybody knows her.
wants something with Chapel Roan.
I've never heard of her
Yeah,
before.
she's already
the
performed
Grammys.
on SNL. And everything.
Okay, well there you go. Best rap album: We Don't Trust You, Future and Metro Boomin, The Death of Slim Shady by Eminem, The Auditorium Volume 1, Common and Pete Rock, Might Delete Later, J. Cole, or Alligator Bites Never Heal, Doechii, and Doechii won.
Doechii won, yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
She's so awesome. Love, love, love her. Okay, so the best new artist, let's just say it was Chapel Roan, because you just said that she is like, all over everywhere and everybody wants her. But Doechii, I can't imagine, didn't give her a run for her money.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But she was also up against, which I find this interesting, Teddy Swims, which I feel like Teddy Swims has been around forever. How's he best
Teddy
new
Swims
artist?
has been around forever on social
TikTok.
media.
Oh, so like to be on a Grammys
Yes, yeah,
level.
because now it's social media has become an actual stage for new people to come out, opposed to you have to go and
Let's just
get.
call it
anything.
TikTok. Let's not say
Okay.
social media because it's really about how people blow up on TikTok.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you had Shabuzi. You had
Shabuzi.
Yep, Ray. I don't even know how you say this. Krungbin. Kruangbin. I have no idea. Doechii, Sabrina Carpenter, Benson Boone, and then Chapel Roan. So Chapel Roan won that. And then we have Song of the Year was Kendrick Lamar. They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. And it really wasn't. Well, I mean, I guess Tipsy potentially
Shabuzi.
could have won for Shabuzi.
Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Yep. And then you had Please, Please, Please. That was the Sabrina Carpenter song. Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. Good Luck Babe, Chapel Roan. Fortnite was Post Malone and Taylor Swift. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Like all these. Billie Eilish with Birds of a Feather. They were all up for it, but Kendrick Lamar won. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar will also be performing at the Super Bowl on Sunday. So that will be interesting.
Yeah.
And then we also then had Record of the Year. And guess who won that? Kendrick
Of
Lamar
course.
for Not Like Us. He beat out, which is really interesting, the Beatles. That's an interesting take, but Now and Then was an album for the Beatles that was up for
But
record
that was
of
like
the year.
that was like a re-release or
You were
something.
asking
Okay.
the wrong person.
I didn't know if it said all that.
Yeah, nope, did not say that. But against Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift with Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX, and Beyonce. Texas Hold'em song. So all of those did not win. Record of the year was Kendrick Lamar. And then finally, album of the year. So the best album of the year went to Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. She looked shocked and awed in regards to winning Best Country. And I think just both, because I don't think she had ever won Album of the Year before, because the other time it was when Taylor Swift won for something that she had done. And then with Lemonade, I think it was Adele who had won.
Yeah.
So she didn't get the opportunity to do that before. But what was most interesting about that most people talked about, was after she won and she went backstage, and Kevin from Entertainment Tonight, I was going to say ET, but Entertainment Tonight was back there. She actually gave an interview. She actually talked.
Okay,
and everybody was like, the Beehive went building.
Oh, yeah. But I guess it's like, I'm not going to give you my voice if you're not going to appreciate me.
Well,
You don't need
she
to know
just
nothing.
never gives interviews.
Yeah.
Ever of late. So therefore they were like, wait, she's answering his questions. Like, she's talking about Blue Ivy. She's talking about how she feels about getting recognized. And like, and you could tell she's very like, I'm going to choose my words very wisely. And I'm going to show a much appreciation to the country, community. And I'm so glad that, I've received all this love.
Yeah, but she would have to, in order to be able to stay in that category, if she's going to make another country album, she has to be more personable.
Do you think she's going to make another country album?
She might. I don't know.
I don't.
I think it could be a
she'll make
possibility.
another country album.
I mean, you never know. Unless she's trying to do like Lady Gaga and just make a whole bunch of different albums of a whole bunch of different genres.
Yeah, that I could probably see more, because she did the dance, like she just did, what was it? Renaissance.
Yeah.
And that was a whole other genre. Then she did country, whole other genre. And then she might, I don't know, she might have a whole rap album. I don't know.
Yeah, she might. I don't know.
She might.
But a lot of people were talking about how Blue Ivy was sitting beside her and was like, "Go ahead up, Ma, go up there."
Yeah,
like she was like ushering her up, and she was like, "You won, like go."
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people was like, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think Kendrick Lamar won 5.
Yes.
And then you had where there was a little bit, not controversy, just people who were picketing and protesting because they're like, why are y'all doing this? And focused on the Hollywood elite when people's homes have burned down. Like,
that's very
can
true.
we just do something somewhere else, or not specifically like right here in the middle of
they're in
like
LA?
all that? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it was at the, the cryptocurrency.
But I wonder if that brings
stadium or
brings
whatever.
money into
I have no
that
idea,
area to
but
help.
I don't know. I mean, insurance companies are dropping people left and right to not help them rebuild their homes. So there's that. I don't know. But then you had and Usher even was on Jennifer Hudson's show and had stated that he was, even though he had a song that was up for a Grammy, he was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to, sit this one out because of what was going on with the fires and everything. So he was like, there might be some other people who decided to sit at home and not necessarily go just because out of respect for the people who have lost everything. And then you had Kanye.
Oh, Lord.
And his wife, Bianca.
He wasn't even invited.
That's what I heard. Yep. So not necessarily invited, but just, so what happens when you're not invited, but you still can get on a red carpet? Like how do
Kanye
you
West.
But I mean, regardless.
Well, in other words,
it's
he
like,
wasn't invited, so I
face.
don't think he had any seats.
That's what I'm saying. So you just come, walk the red carpet, and go home?
Possibly, yeah. And then go to the after parties.
Ridiculous. So, but his wife, Bianca, had no clothes on, basically.
Yeah.
It was like this
in a fur
little,
coat or something like that.
She had on a fur coat. And then when she took off the fur coat on the red carpet, she was nude, basically, underneath with a little sheath over top of her, but you could see everything basically. And so there is now uproar in regards to if she maybe, committed a crime.
Yeah, but I said broke the law.
And because there were
Public
children
decency.
that are out there, you know, like, you know, seeing their favorite artists getting on the stage, you know, all this kind of stuff. So it's like, wow, okay, so parents probably covering their kids' eyes, you know, because of that. And then today, well, I guess at some point this week, he said that he said, my wife is under my domain. Like, I have full domain over my wife. So she basically does what I tell her to do, was what he had stated.
Which is sad.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
so,
it's very sad.
So,
I will tell you this. Chapel Roan is the new Billie Eilish. So you know how Billie Eilish was like, everybody loved Billie Eilish when she first came out and was like that? That is how Chapel Roan is now.
Okay. And then I was thinking, as I heard, because again, I played a little bit of her song. So as I heard her song playing, I was like, oh, she reminds me, though, more of a younger Lady Gaga.
Okay.
So then I was like, because, you know, it's like the slow, and then you start screaming.
Oh, I was thinking like Cyndi Lauper.
Da, da, da. But then I was like, ooh, I wonder how that feels, because Lady Gaga came in and everybody was like, Madonna was all upset, which I was like, the age difference is ridiculous there. But still, Madonna was upset, like, oh, well, she's the new Madonna because she was doing weird, outlandish things and still wearing the cone bras and, you know, wearing a meat suit and all this kind of stuff to go to awards and just being over the top. And then I was like, I wonder how Lady Gaga feels to know, gosh, that was just me being that person not that long ago. And now here's the newer, younger version.
I don't think Lady Gaga has any bit of animosity towards anyone.
I don't think that she has that animosity or retreat anybody.
Yeah, I think that she's like,
but you would just think like, oh wow, like I'm not that fresh, hot, new,
but you know what? She
anymore.
probably is thinking, I walk so you can run.
Maybe so.
You know,
maybe so. Yeah,
and let's collab later when I'm just out here still writing music for other people. Let's do a collaboration so we can do a crazy music video and a crazy song together.
Because that's the way to stay relevant. Really, is for you to continue to work with, collaborate.
Hence,
with
Brandy and Monica
people.
with Ariana Grande.
Facts. Yep, exactly. So, but that's basically all that I had for the Grammys. Was just who won. Some of the, you know, controversy, some of the feelings around it, you know, happening in LA when, I mean, literally the fires just ended like a week and a half ago because of some rain and stuff. So, you know, and then it makes you wonder, because they were planning it all along. Would they have continued to have it with fires just burning all around LA? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have. So anyway, but that's all I had.
There's one thing. Beyonce made history as the first woman of color, a black woman, to win in a country category.
Okay, excellent.
So she made history with that. So I thought that was amazing.
I feel like Charlie Pride or somebody like that had done it for a black male, but
but nobody's done it for a black woman.
Excellent, thank you, Sestra. All right, what do you have next?
All right, let me go over these hot topics because we are in a hot mess. Okay. So, just a couple of things. I'm only going to go over a few things. There are a lot, and it's just February. Okay. Yes. So, Elon gets access to the Treasury's federal payment system. Yes. So, that means Social Security, Medicare, and other financial sensitive info. And he's not part of the government. So there's
never
that.
Had a security check, clearance, nothing.
Is he even an American citizen?
No.
Okay, so
I don't know. He might have a dual citizenship, but
does he have a dual citizenship, or is he just like a permanent visa type thing or something?
Not sure.
I don't know. But then also the FCC is looking into NPR and PBS because Trump thinks that they were using their commercials to sway people during the election.
Okay.
So I watched, which I'm going to go over another day, the Julia, which is a Julia Child's TV show.
TV show, right.
And in the second season, one thing that happens is the FBI comes to Julia and says, hey, we know this information about your husband when he used to work for the government, and we will put this out unless you give us information about what PBS is doing to sway people from the Vietnam War.
What?
So now it's like, so history just keeps repeating itself. So that is literally a fact.
So do we think PBS really was doing things like that?
I mean, does it matter? It's a public broadcasting station.
Yeah, but they may say that then it has to be held to a different regard, a different non-biased regard, because it is public. So therefore, it is not like in a private sector where you're like, well, this is my private show that I can do what I want to do with it. It's like, no, this is public by the tax paying dollars.
Well, yeah, but then it also could be from the people who gave money to them to keep them open.
Yeah.
Keep them going. It's like, hey, if we got these people who are keeping us going and they're anti this and anti that, we need to go ahead and push that. So then they know that we are on their side. That's what there's some thoughts. Okay. Also, Trump's tariff caused retaliation from Mexico and Canada with steep tariffs. So Canada responds with a 25% tariff on 155 billion of America's goods, and 60 billion of those were immediate. So then it's just going to keep going from there. And in sports news, you got the NBA trade Luca to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, and I'm wondering if this is because LeBron's going to be retiring, and they need a point guard. They need a shooter, and Luca he works great. I feel like they're trying to rebuild the Lakers like they used to be back in the day with like what was it, Steve Nash and Robert Horry, and when you had that dream team, it was like they just kept winning. You know, they were just up there. So you didn't go back to like the Kareem Dream Team or the Magic Dream I'm going to
team. You're going to the more recent.
Yeah, the more recent.
Okay, I just
like
wanted to
history
clarify,
repeats itself. Yeah.
But I'm just saying there are going to be some people listening like Steve Nash and or like.
What
about the real Dream Team?
But they haven't had anything like that since.
I mean, I get what you're
for
saying.
The Lakers.
I just needed some clarification from my old.
I got you. But for the Lakers, they haven't had anything like that. It has been other teams that have had things like that, like the Heat. You've had, what was it? What is the name of that team? I think the Clippers. The Bulls were trying, how the Bulls had theirs. So there's
Boston.
other teams that have had that, but it's been a while since the Lakers have had that. So that's why I mentioned it like that. Also, city killer asteroid is hurtling towards Earth and could possibly make an impact. All right, so there's that. Okay. A mile long.
Say that again. I mean, say what's happening.
It's called.
I hadn't heard this before.
Okay, it's city killer asteroid.
Okay.
Which is hurling by Earth. And maybe gravity could cause it to
suck in.
Yeah, and hit the Earth. Yeah.
And then we spin off axis or something. Or
I don't know what.
Did they say what would happen?
I didn't go into all of that. I didn't go into all that, but it's a possibility that it could impact. Now, it could impact the ocean, and then we all flood. It could hit another country. It could. We don't know for sure. It's just a possibility. Hey, this thing is coming this way.
How many miles?
It just says a city killer, so it's the size of a city.
A city. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so it's pretty big. And then it's like, what do you do with that? Do we shoot up like rockets in order for that not to happen? Is it like Armageddon? You remember the movie Armageddon?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Do we break it up into tiny little pieces?
Yeah. A mile-long underwater volcano off the west coast could erupt this year. We're off to a great start, guys. This year is amazing. All right. Also, Native Americans, their tribes are offering free tribal IDs because ICE has been arresting Native Americans.
What? Thinking and they're being Mexican?
Like, yeah, where are your papers? Well, are you here illegally? And they're like, no, you're here illegally. I don't understand why you're here. Yeah. So now they're like, we are... now we have to make our own IDs that says what your tribe is, where property and everything that we have. So and then that way nobody tries to deport us to Mexico when we've
never even been to Mexico.
Yeah, we've never even
been. I'm sure. Yeah, we would not know the language, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And then how is this not racial profiling? Because how are you? Going to deport,
is. You can't say this.
But how would you deport Canadians? Like what are we doing here? Like what's I don't know. Anyway, okay.
I would just say this. They deporting everybody but black people because they need black people to do black jobs.
Yeah, they're not going to. No, they said that we are a part of America.
Yeah, you can't deport us because you imported us. So therefore... Right.
That's why they said that we are a part of America. So when they talk about getting rid of people who are immigrants, black people are not on their radar or list.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have to do the black jobs.
Yeah, but then... I
they
wonder
think that
nobody else
they
can do.
know what that is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But then also I'm wondering if I just lost it. No.
Sorry, deporting people. We were talking about that. We were talking about anyway.
It was.
But
It was.
I will say, while you're thinking about it, I'll just say that one of the people that I follow on TikTok, she was saying that she's in New Jersey and that they have been deporting people left and right, so much so that people are not coming to work. They're not going to churches because they're deporting from churches. They are not manning their taco trucks, and they're not, just everything that they had as their own businesses. And so you can say it because I just saw you.
I just got it. But then also this is kind of like how I wonder if they're trying to turn Black Americans away from immigrants. How they kind of back when slavery was happening.
And the indentured servants that they were trying to stop.
Servants being like, yo, you're better than them. You're better than like the slaves because you're white. So now it's like, you're better than the immigrants because you're Black. You're an American.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I wonder if that is also possibly something that they're trying to do, like a
they could
psychology,
think
whatever
that that's
type thing.
The case, and maybe there are some people who will fall for it. I'm not sure. But the girl in Jersey also said that they are getting kids off the school bus.
Oh, of course they are.
Like they are just like waiting
at
for them
the
to
bus
get
stop.
off at the bus stop, and then picking up kids. And I'm like, well, where are their parents? Like, what is it? Like, it's just it's a lot. So 2025 is doing some things.
Exactly. But then also with that happening, you do have 500 Marines that are deployed to Guantanamo Bay to expand the Migrant Operations Center for the deportees. So the people who are getting deported, let's go ahead and take you to Guantanamo Bay and wait until we can get you up out of here.
Oh, goodness. So now you're taking them to
So now we have concentration camps.
Yeah, like a torture chamber, basically.
Because that's all Guantanamo Bay is.
Right.
And there's documentaries about this. So now you want to send people there. I don't know. Also, there is an American New Yorker who refuses to leave Pakistan because she went over there to marry this young man. And then his parents found out who she was and was like, she's so much older than you. I think he might be like 17.
What?
Yeah. And then the parents are like, nah, this isn't going to happen. So now she's just stuck there and she's demanding money from Pakistan. She was like, I'm not going nowhere. Y'all need to give me money. Y'all need to give me this amount of money, or you need to give me this. And now she's saying,
I saw that lady in a video.
Yeah, and also what she's saying is,
I was trying to figure out how she got some authority to stand in front of all these people telling them what they gonna do and how they gonna do it and what for.
Exactly. So this is, if you follow Raya the Last Dragon on TikTok, this is the information that she had said about it. And I'm like, yeah, this lady, it's just the audacity that this woman comes in there and she's just like, yeah, so we gonna clean up Pakistan because I don't like the way that it looks.
Right.
And it's like, bro, what? And
she is so
and then I guess because she is so headstrong and stubborn, a lot of the Pakistani men are trying to propose to her and giving her money. So she's just over there. There's a video of her sitting down in a chair just counting stacks of money.
So basically,
So let me go ahead and play this.
That. Woman that refuses to leave Pakistan because she cannot marry the teenage boy she met online, yet somehow became an international celebrity, has taught me that confidence, audacity, and just a little bit of delusion goes a long way. It all started when 33-year-old Onijah Andrew Robinson flew to Karachi, Pakistan last October with a mission to marry a 19-year-old boy she met online. The boy's family did not approve of him getting married to Onijah. However, one thing about this lady is that she does not accept no for an answer, because even after the boy's family left their house and left it vacant, she staged a sit-in and just sat outside of his home, wandered around, I guess waiting on the family to come back, but I guess they never did. She was stranded there for several days with her tourist visa expiring in the process, and at that point she was just wandering around Karachi with no place to go. However, eventually her story was picked up by the local news, and people did raise money for her to go back home, but she refuses to do that. In fact, now she's made it her mission to fix up Pakistan.
I hope he's saying the right things, okay? Like I said, Pakistan needs to be reconstructed the right way.
The right
Can you
way.
hear me, guys? Make sure y'all get this on your camera. I'm married to Nidel Hamid. I'm Onaija Hamid. We are moving to Dubai very soon. We're going to have our babies in Dubai. Our plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for 100K or more.
100.
I need 20K by this week.
By this week.
Okay, in my pocket.
In her pocket. Cash.
Okay, that's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets.
On the double.
Clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it. I'm not talking.
It is
unless
so
y'all giving
ridiculous.
me land and 2,000 or more.
What's killing me
One more.
is that in every clip I see, she's asking for a different amount of money, and she's getting the money, y'all. She's getting the bag. That's the thing. Because the men there are showering her in rupees. I've even heard she's gotten a few marriage proposals, but keeps turning them down. Now, Onaija's son has since come out and said that his mother does suffer from mental health issues, specifically bipolar disorder, and that she was only supposed to go to Pakistan to meet Memon and his family. As bizarre as the situation is, I must say this is excellent PR for Pakistan. Those people are so nice and have been so warm, friendly, and hospitable to her, and especially patient given the circumstances. At this point, she might as well go ahead and get dual citizenship.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And shout out to Risham. But yeah, this is wild. She just over there. She's like, I'm gonna fix this up because I don't like it.
Right.
And
Y'all
then
need new cars.
yeah,
where are the new cars?
yeah, where are the roads? I need. Then the thing is like, I wonder if some of those people are like, yeah, we do need to fix up Pakistan.
Maybe.
And
They're,
maybe
like, agreeing with
Americans are the way that we need to go about it.
Goodness.
And this woman is into us because, so she said the main thing that brought her into meeting this young man and liking the Pakistani way of living. And she was like, because y'all pray all the time and I do too. All right, well, there's that. So that's done. But them giving her money, I think they said she's gotten close to $100,000 already, or 100,000 rupees or whatever already. So another thing, chocolate has a recall. FDA said you eat some chocolate, you could die.
Wait, all chocolate?
I don't. They didn't exactly. Well, what I saw was not exactly what chocolates, but they look like the Jordan. The little Jordan almond chocolates, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-mm. The almonds that have the chocolate
Around it?
yeah, and the candy.
Not
coating.
the Ferrero Rocher.
I don't know. I don't know if it's something going on with the import. Hey, how do we not know that they're importing chocolate and trying to kill Americans?
Well,
I mean, you see
importing
who
from where?
are
Because there could be tariffs.
Exactly. But you see who our fearless leader is. So it could be a possibility. Also, Target stock has gone down and because of them not
Getting rid
wanting
of
to
DEI.
Yep. And their investors are livid.
Oh, really?
Oh, they were just like, oh, so y'all chose to do this and didn't want to talk to us about it. Like,
Oh,
shouldn't
they
there be a
didn't tell
board?
their
I think there's.
people?
Well, I don't know if they didn't tell them, but they didn't tell
They
them
had
the
to tell the
effects.
board.
But they don't think they told them.
They didn't expect any effects. They just like, we just did it for lip service because everybody was upset about George Floyd and it was 2020 and everybody was looking at TikToks about DE&I. So we did it.
Yeah.
And now we're taking it away. And,
Yeah, it's
and we did
just-
it like everybody else took it away. And now why are we the ones that are getting, penalized? But I'm getting ready to go buy some Target stock right now.
Okay.
Only because it'll go back up because people have a very, very, very short memory. And therefore, I did that with Netflix. Bought it at 200. It's selling at 9.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And that was during COVID when everybody didn't want to touch Netflix for some apparent reason. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm not one to, discriminate.
So you're gonna work the system.
I may very well work the system.
All right, you have it here first. Work in the system. All right, now the U.S. State Department travel website.
The system would work me.
That's very true.
So,
that's
hello.
Very true. All right, but the U.S. State Department travel website removed the TQ plus or the IA on the LGBT. QIA or
La Jabitiqua.
Yeah, La Jabitiqua, Alphabet Mafia. So they are saying if you're trans, queer, which I don't understand why, queer, but anything that's not LGB, then we don't recognize you.
So they recognize the lesbians.
Yeah.
And they recognize bisexuals.
Yes.
And they recognize gay people.
Yes.
They don't recognize anyone who
is under the entire umbrella.
Under the entire umbrella, which is queer, which, anybody could say they're queer. So I guess they don't know the definition of queer.
Yeah, no.
And then,
I guess they say they can't do queer because it's like, well, queer also includes trans and pansexuals and asexuals.
But they're like how
intersexual.
They're probably like, why? I'm just an asexual.
That's it. I'm just with me.
It's just me by myself.
Yeah.
Why are you discriminating against me?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Trump offers buyouts to the entire CIA. We don't need them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he'll just replace them.
Yeah, he'll just replace them with
people who won't investigate him.
Yeah, exactly. People who are not going to investigate him, and I'm pretty sure Elon is going to have some people. Elon, Bezos, and what's his other name? Zuckerberg. Yeah. They're probably going to make up their own little task force or something like that.
It's possible.
Yeah. Shout out to Irv Gotti. A rest in peace to him. He does suffer another stroke and has brain bleeding. And his family went ahead and said their goodbyes and pulled the plug. So he has. What happened?
I just knew he had passed away from a stroke, and he had diabetes, and had admittedly not taken his medicine, his insulin.
Yeah, I figured that he was going through a lot of stuff because he was talking on the Breakfast Club, like on the phone or something like that. And the way that he was talking, I was like, "Bro, have you been drinking?" Or
he sounded a little different.
Yeah, he sounded different. So I was like, "Yeah," but then also I knew that he had fake teeth. So I wonder if, I was like, maybe he got the new fake teeth, and that might be the issue. It's hard to talk when you got the new fake chompers.
Yeah, well, and are you going to talk about 50 Cent and his... Oh,
yeah.
Well, he just trolled him, even though he's passed. But, I guess there was always...
50 Cent is Petty LaBelle.
Yes.
Okay?
Constantly petty.
He is the pettiest person.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm kind of here for the entertainment.
I know, so many people are there for
because this is rich entertainment.
Yeah.
These are rich people going back and forth.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with us. We're just sitting here eating popcorn, watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that happened is the Proud Boys lose their trademark to a black church that they vandalized.
What?
Yes. So the Proud Boys trademark is now owned by the church that they vandalized.
Okay. Is that like a legal thing? That
Yeah. So then it's like, if you want to use this, then you got to pay us. So yeah, maybe they'll change it to the Proud Men, and then another church might, already have the Proud Men. I don't know. And then last thing that I have is Japan was hit with 4 feet of snow in 12 hours and was also scheduled to have more snow coming. I don't know the exact amount of snow that Japan got, but yeah. That's what happened.
4 feet.
Yeah. In 12 hours.
In 12 hours.
12 hours. That's crazy. Yeah, it's snowing everywhere. Snowed in New Orleans, Texas,
Florida.
It's snowing. That's what it is. Maybe we're going into the ice age. We don't know.
Instead of global warming. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe it's going to be a whole bunch of tornadoes everywhere with the global warming and the ice age hitting together. Boom. What is that called? Tornadoes.
And the unfortunate part of that is that would mean that there would be less travel that you can do by planes. Yeah. Plus, people are already nervous about planes. So there's
planes that are just doing. I don't. But see, you know what? I'm wondering if it's just negligence on pilots' parts, because these pilots are probably not fully trained, because a lot of pilots were not, was it during COVID?
Well, yeah, pilots they were required to retire over 62,
Yeah.
I think. If you're over 62, it wasn't quite 65 if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe, I don't know. I know it was at a certain age you had to retire. You didn't have a choice. Even if you were 100% healthy, fine, whatever, there was a standard or rule that you had to retire. So a lot of pilots were forced to retire, and then there weren't enough pilots.
We ain't got no more Sullys.
Right, to step into their place. And, mainly you're getting pilots out of the military.
Yeah.
And so.
But but a lot of military pilots do not do passenger planes. Some of them will do cargo planes or fighter pilot jets or something like that, or helicopters.
Yeah, but is the skill transferable enough to teach somebody how to do?
Exactly, because those are all four different kinds of transportation when it comes to aircrafts. Mm-hmm. So
it's interesting, but they do have very strict hours and rules in regards to, you just landed. Sorry, the whole plane's just going to have to wait till tomorrow because the pilot's gone over their hours or whatever. So, I mean, that is something that's good.
So I guess if you want to be a pilot, this is the time to take your classes because
I don't want to be on their plane though, but
if you're going to take your classes, make sure you have the right hours and everything, and you're going to go through it properly. I think that's all right, because they're not, okay, we need to hurry up and get people to be pilots because we don't have enough going on. You remember back when it was American Airlines didn't have a whole bunch of pilots, and then there was multiple people that were just in airports not being able to go anywhere?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's if it went from hurry up so we can go ahead and get these people out of here, no more lawsuits, to now, all right, we got to get people who actually know what they're doing to do this.
That's true. Okay.
So, that's the information that I have from my hot mess.
Hot mess. Okay. Well, I am going to talk about Dexter Original Sin.
Okay.
I am really enjoying it. It's good. It involves the same character, Michael C. Hall, who plays Dexter, but he's narrating. So he's not, you don't actually see him in here, but he is the narrator of it. He is being played, and the whole premise of this is that it is the Dexter before Dexter, right? The Dexter TV
the
show.
Prequel.
Right, the prequel. And so you have Patrick Gibson playing Dexter Morgan, and he does a really good job of his facial expressions, where you can tell that he's really thinking. He seems a little creepy, but then he can smile and he looks really normal, and he's walking that fine line of being a normal person and being a psychotic killer. And so he does a really good job of that, almost more expressive than even Dexter was himself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, because it's the younger him, and then now he's grown,
yeah.
the Dexter, he's grown up and knows, okay, I don't have to pretend anymore. This is easy.
So you have Christian Slater in here as Harry Morgan,
Christian Slater, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, so he is playing Dexter's father. And then they go through the whole origin of that too, right? So how is it that Dexter ends up with Harry? Because, Harry was his stepdad. It wasn't really Harry, because he never even called him dad. He mainly called him Harry, even when he was older. And so they go into the whole story of Harry, how Harry met his mom, the relationship and all of those types of things, which is really interesting because Harry's a cop and his mom's an informant.
Is Harry's wife named Sally?
I forgot what Harry's wife is.
When Harry met Sally?
Yeah. Funny. I don't think so. Nope, it's Doris, I think.
Okay.
I think it's Doris. Maybe. I don't know. No, Doris is Dexter's mom's name. I don't know what his wife's name was.
Yeah.
But
We're just going to call her Sally.
Yeah. All right, call her Sally. You have Sarah Michelle Gellar in it. And she plays Tanya Martin. So she is the head forensic specialist. So she goes through and looks at all the forensics of everything. It's got a really great cast. Patrick Dempsey is in it.
Okay.
And so he plays Aaron Spencer, who's the head, it's Harry Morgan's boss.
Okay.
Christian Slater's boss is Patrick Dempsey. So he's the head honcho of everything in regards to that. If you remember Dexter, you remember Angel Bastista. And that is played by James Martinez. So you have the younger version of him and Maria. So Maria and Angel end up together in the normal Dexter show, and Maria is being played by Christina Milian. A Million. I think that's how she said it, right? Million. Christina Milian. Milian. Sorry, apology. You have Joe I can never say his name. Pantaleo. Joe. You know Joe. Anyway, he's in there. He's as Mad Dog. And then you have, who else? Oh, Reno Wilson. You may not know his name, but you know his face. But he plays Bobby Wyatt. And so, yeah, they have, and Dexter's sister, Deborah, or Deb, as they call it, is played by Molly Brown. So, long story short of this series is that it's all about the beginnings of Dexter, how Dexter goes to Harry and has already learned the code at this point, and it's like, I'm ready for my first kill. I know all the good things to do. I know what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, how I'm not supposed to get caught, all of that. And so in the process of them talking through some of these things, number one, Dexter ends up going to like a scene or something with Harry, and then they're like, oh, you're doing a good job at this. Maybe you want to come and intern with us or come, work with us. And so that's how he gets into the whole forensic side of everything. And he starts to just discover things about himself. Because if you remember, Dexter would always keep a souvenir, which was the blood on the little, sleeve and glass. And they did show him with one of those in his hand, but this wasn't what he was collecting just yet. Oh, okay. He was collecting other things, which Harry was like, stop collecting things. You can't have evidence of these people that you've killed in your house.
That's
like,
evidence.
What is wrong with you?
That's paperwork.
Yes. And then he ends up also having situations where, say, it's always really, really bad people doing really, really bad things. So, he's like a vigilante more so than just out here as a random serial killer. But he ends up dumping bodies where alligators are. So that way, in the Everglades somewhere, so that way the alligator does their business. Well, the very first kill that he does, all of a sudden he gets a beep or a call or whatever telling him, hey, we need you to come out to, this swampy area. We found something. He's like, oh boy, interesting. And they go. And what happened is that he forgot to take the jewelry off of the guy. Oh. So when the arm floated up or whatever, then the jewelry was still on the arm. Yeah. And they're like, Dexter, can you go and do an analysis and da-da-da-da-da and gather all the stuff? And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to figure out how to get rid of the arm. He throws the arm back into the water. And then he sees an alligator. So he throws the arm back into the water. Everybody was like, he was looking around. Everybody was doing something else. And then he just threw the arm. But then he acted like he had to pull himself out of the water. He's like, and then he comes and he's like, an alligator almost got me. But it did get the evidence. I'm so sorry. And they're like, really? You had one job is to protect the evidence. And why didn't we move it away from where it was so that way, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so he's working his thing for sure, and it's just really good how it flows. The girl who plays Deb, his sister, so spot on to Deb. Like Deb, Deb was always like a rebel, and I don't care, and what about this, and da-da-da-da, and then she would try to be professional and stuff, but she still was all over the place. And this young girl is truly, got expelled from school, lost her scholarship, dating some guy who's 20-something years old, gets on a yacht with him to go to Bimini, and then gets stuck there with no passport. She's just...
But they do a great job of doing the backstory for her, and it still matches. It's not she was a timid person and then turned into, it's like, no, she's always been a rebel. She's always been that way. And then it shows, this last episode that I watched, which I'm probably one behind, showed where Dexter potentially got that taste for blood. Ooh. So I was looking at it and I was like, they were just showing the scene and I was like, now it makes sense. That's why he's where's the spoon?
It's like, okay. And it was when he was just really, really young too. So, but it goes into the story of his mom and their relationship and just everything. So, I personally think it's really good. It's a Dexter origin story. It's on Paramount Plus. At least that's how I'm watching it. I don't know if it's Showtime as well, but I know I'm watching it on Paramount Plus. Okay. So. Alrighty, what you have for the last thing, sis?
All right, my last thing that I want to talk about is my new favorite show.
Oh, okay.
High Potential.
Never heard of it.
High Potential is the TV show that is on Hulu. If you've seen it, did you know it? Everybody knows Caitlin Olsen. She was Dee Dee on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, uh-huh.
So it is about her. So she plays Morgan Gilroy. Or Guillory. Yeah, Morgan Guillory. You also have Daniel Sanjata, or Sanjata, who plays Adam. He plays Detective Adam Karadek. Yeah,
Okay.
Karadek. You have Javicia Leslie, who plays Daphne, who is another detective. She's a younger detective, like a rookie detective. You have Denise, I guess it's going to be Dennis, Deniz. Dennis Dennis.
I don't know why we even tried.
I don't know why we try either. Why can't we just get AI to say all this stuff for us? So then we're not liable. AI said it wrong. Plays Oz, who is another young detective. You have Amara J, who plays Ava. You have Matthew Lamb, who plays Elliot, which is Ava's brother. They also have a little baby named Chloe, but I don't even see the credits for the baby.
No.
You have Judy Reyes, who plays Detective Selena Soto. She is the, I guess she's the head detective. I don't know what that would be if you're a detective over top of the rest of the detectives.
Lieutenant or something, or
Yeah.
captain?
Yeah, maybe
Probably
captain. And then you have Torrin Killiam, who plays Ludo, who is actually the baby daddy to Morgan's two youngest children. So,
Okay.
this show is fantastic. 14 episodes.
Okay.
I think that I am at episode, oh shoot, what episode I am? Maybe like 10. I think I'm at 10.
Okay.
And I love it. It's so great. So if you have ever seen, and this is kind of like what stuck out to me. If you have ever watched Law and Order, Monk, The Mentalist, or Psych,
Yep.
it's like that all wrapped into one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Funny and good.
Okay.
So High Potential is about Morgan, who the show starts off. I'll just give you the opening scene because it's all over the trailer. So it starts off with her. She's a cleaning lady at the police station. It's nighttime. All the detectives are gone, so she's cleaning up on that floor. As she's cleaning, she's dancing. She got her headphones on. She's listening to music. Then she looks. She knocks over some paperwork, looks at it, and some pictures of something that happened. It was like somebody had left a file out on their desk when they shouldn't have.
Okay.
So it was the pictures of a death, and they were trying to figure out exactly what happened. So she looks at the board that they have up of all the connections, and underneath the deceased man's wife's name, it said suspect. And you see her looking at the pictures and everything. She looks at the board, goes over with a red marker, crosses out, and writes victim. Keeps dancing around. Finish cleaning. Boom, that's done. Karadek comes in. Who did this? Who changed this board?
Yeah.
It was like, well, none of us done it. Like, no, none of the detectives there were like, no, we haven't, we didn't touch it. They go and look at the camera footage, and they like the younger detectives that are new are like sitting there like giggling, like, man, she's having the time of her life with this crappy job that she's doing. She's making it fun. And then they show how she picks up the file that she had dropped, looks at the stuff, looks at the board, and then crosses out suspect and puts in victim. So now, I guess Captain or Lieutenant Soto is like, all right, we need to get this lady in here and figure out why she put down victim. Like, what did she see? And then also, who left this paperwork out here? Because that's not where it's supposed to be. You can't just leave files on the desk because that is actual parts of evidence.
Yeah.
So once they find her, she's like, yeah, I'll come in. Like, what do you need me to do? Now, she plays like an Erin Brockovich type character. If you remember Erin Brockovich, she always has like short skirts on and like, very
Cleavage and all that
I mean,
stuff.
not really cleavage, but it's like she shows off her assets, but not in a skanky way, I guess you would, like people would call it, but in a loud way.
Okay.
So she wear a snakeskin shirt with a snakeskin skirt and red pumps and a red jacket.
Got it.
So she stands out.
Okay.
She definitely stands out. So when she comes in, they start asking her questions, and she's just like, yeah, I did that, and what's the problem? And they were like, well, you shouldn't touch this stuff, blah, blah, blah. She was like, well, I mean, it fell over. I picked it up, and as I was picking up all these papers and pictures all over, I look at the stuff. And then also, the reason that this happened is because of this, this, and this. And then she was like, am I free to leave now?
Yeah.
And they're just like, and Karadec is like, yeah, just get out of here. So then she goes to get ready to leave. She's standing outside waiting for, I guess like an Uber, because she doesn't have a car right now. Mm-hmm. Waiting for her Uber. They come back out and be like, hey, can we ask you a couple of questions about this? And then she goes into like this monk psych, monk psych type thing where she just breaks down, well, this happens because of this. And if you look at this house,
she's not even
this house is put together so well. Why would this be like this? And why would this be like this? And then the person didn't have, the body that we found didn't have, that you all found, didn't have any things around its wrist, like they were fighting to get free. So then therefore, why would the wife be the suspect? Why wouldn't she be a victim?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay. And then from there, she basically helps them solve the case. Now, this is the thing. When Soto says, Karadec, you need to take her with you when you go to interview these people, Karadec's like, absolutely not.
Right.
No, she is not a detective. And it's like, well, guess what? I'm in charge, so this is what you gotta have to do.
Yeah.
Once he does that, she knows nothing about anything as far as the the steps that you have to go through,
like or the right protocols.
The right protocols.
Like
yeah, she knows none of that.
Okay.
So she's just like, he goes in, he starts talking to somebody, and she just starts looking around the house and picking up stuff, and basically she's doing stuff without a search warrant. But because she's not police, is that okay? Is it not okay?
Makes you wonder,
because she's just a consultant.
Right.
She's getting on Karadec's nerves so bad. So now it's just how their whole relationship ends up working out, and how she is becoming this
she's becoming a detective.
Yeah, she's becoming a detective.
Even though that wasn't her calling, are they paying her anything?
Yeah,
like,
well, so that's the thing. When she first
Bunk?
did it, she wasn't getting paid. They were just like,
yeah,
all right. Well, Soto came out to her and said, so with all these charges that you have like backed up, it's going to be a good amount of time. You're looking at a good amount of jail time and fines. And it's like, so just letting you know this, and if you give us some help. She's like, oh, so now it's you want me to do a favor, to do me a favor? How is that a favor?
Yeah, bribery.
Yeah. So then she's like, all right, come on, let's go inside. So then that's how she ends up helping.
It's getting her time off. It'll be time off for good behavior, potentially.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, so now the thing about her is it's called high potential because she is a high potential intellectual. With advanced cognitive capabilities. So she basically sees things that no one else can see or sees them differently and makes it easier. Her IQ is like 160.
Love it.
So if she goes on Jeopardy, she knows the answers to everything.
Yeah.
She's winning the grand prize.
It makes you wonder how she ended up in the situation she was in.
Exactly. And they go a little bit, like throughout the season, they go a little bit into her past, but not much.
All right.
But she is a mother of 3. She has a great relationship with her 2 youngest kids, their father, and he actually ends up helping out a lot. So one of the stipulations is that, hey, so when they gave her a thing to be like, hey, what are you thinking about? Like, this is what we're going to offer you for a job. Think about it. And then she was like, how about this? You give me 30% more of what that paper says. She said, I know I didn't look at it, but it doesn't matter. And then I also want childcare. So then it was like, all right, you got it. So now she is getting her ex-boyfriend paid for watching his own kids. So, yeah.
Wow.
But I think that's a great relationship that they do have because they're genuinely like friends.
Okay.
Her middle son, her son who is in the middle, He's probably around 8 years old, and he has that same high potential intellectual capabilities as his mother. But her oldest, who is 15, is struggling because she's like, well, I forgot what his name was, but like, y'all have this thing, y'all are really smart together. She was like, I have nothing to like for me and you to click, Mom. She was like, so therefore, she doesn't know her father either. So, and then that's the struggles that she's having with not knowing her father
and not being as smart.
Yeah,
as
and
the
him
others.
not being in her life. And now she's like, she knows nothing about him. The only thing that she knows is that he went to go get diapers and he never came back. And her mother's telling her, it's like, but that's not him. It's like, but Mom, that is him because he's not here. If he wanted to be here, he would be. And so then you have the baby, and the baby's just there eating all the time. Like, the baby's always got snacks. So, like, if you're going to be a child star, you need a role to start as a baby so you can get all the snacks.
And just eat. They're just like, let's keep the baby quiet.
Keep the baby quiet. Yeah, the baby don't make no noise the whole show. I don't even think it goes, nothing. All right. But the knowledge she has is remarkable. Like, it is crazy how she has so much knowledge about things that people don't care about, but then she ties it into the cases that are coming up.
Right.
So I think that is amazing, and I like the show.
Okay.
So, but I did find out that with this, it's also a TV show, because Americans can't think of anything originally. It's also a TV show that originated in France. That's called HPI. So
High potential individual.
yeah.
I'm
So
surprised it would have those same initials though in France, because wouldn't it be different words?
oh, I have no idea.
You know what
about
I
that.
mean? Like, how
Yeah.
would it be HPI?
I think, but maybe it's not France. Maybe it's UK, because I remember them showing the. Oh, but she could have been into the Spice Girls. But I remember them showing the original lady pushing around the cart and everything, but her headphones had the British flag on it.
Oh, so maybe it's
So
British, UK
that,
or Britain.
yeah, it
Great
could
Britain.
be
Yeah.
something in the UK or somewhere
Yeah,
close to
we
France.
take a lot of Great Britain stuff, like The Office,
Everything.
and things like that.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. We are
Britain's
not
Got
original.
Talent, The Great British Break Off.
Yeah.
all of those things.
Oh,
yeah,
everything.
So.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go, everyone. That's it for this week's episode of Sestra-Tainment. Everybody have an amazing week. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.